Hola, my name is Lina Rodriguez, Colombian filmmaker, and I'm so excited to be here. I was trying to explain to my mom that she's in Colombia and she loves movies, but I'm not quite sure she understands how exciting it is to be here. So I sent her Lucrecia Martel's video, and she told me to not take too much because it would be embarrassing. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be strategic. So I think I'm gonna start with a yes and maybe pilots. So Wanda, I mean, obviously not just because it's about a woman trying to find her place, but also, like, I guess I'm always attracted to women who subvert their fate, but also wanderers. So Wanda will be in my yes pile for sure. I mean, I think Gene Tierney in Leave Her to Heaven is such a magnetic, tragic, but also moving character to watch movies where women are struggling with their monstrous sides. Is something that I find really inspiring. So we have Wanda and Gene Tierney hanging out. Celine Sciamma's Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I mean, not only the performances on this film, but just the visual grammar. Like, I don't know that many people who have used reverse shot, like shot, reverse shot, in a way that it's like, sure, it's spatial and maybe it's geographical. It's supposed to be about, like, this person is here, this person is here, but in the context of the desire and connection and bond between these two women, looking at how a woman looks at another woman and then coming back. So that the shot, reverse shot in this, I was just so, like, it really struck me, like, the women singing around the fire as, like, witches. I consider myself a witch, so I think the celebrating of witchery and women coming together to celebrate each other and to see each other and to desire each other, it's yeah, it's a yes. Bo Widerbergs, who I'm probably mispronouncing. It's a Swedish filmmaker. The only film here that I've seen is Raven's End. And it's about this man who's trying to be a writer, and he lives in a working class setting. So I'm looking forward to the other films that he made, because I think there is a harshness, but a softness. Like, there's a sort of like humanist approach and a way to look at things poetically, but also looking at things sort of straight up, like, directly. So, I mean, I love all of Fassbinder's films, and we have a bunch of them, but 8 Hours Don't Make a Day kind of, like, marks his melodrama, but it was like a soap opera, and it has, like, this softness that is a little bit different from some of his other films, yet it has this, I don't know, like, critical and very awake perspective on German society as a whole. It's a tender film, but I think in tenderness, actually, in English, that word tender means when you've been hurt. So when you go to a doctor, someone says, like, oh, is that still tender? And that to me means kind of living in pain, which maybe sounds a little bit harsh. And I do feel like 8 Hours Don't Make a Day is a film that reminds us of the tenderness of, like, everyday life, because it is about living, but it's also about accepting that we're living with this pain. Oh, Flowers of Shanghai. That'll be big. And I did see Exotica, and I don't want to leave Adam and go in. I mean, it's funny that I actually picked them together without meaning to, but just Ho Shin's, just like the glow and the sort of, like, lingering, sort of like delirious camera work, but just like how he gets us close to these two characters and this sort of, like, impossible love. And speaking of impossible love, just Adam's Exotica. I mean, Adam is a filmmaker who both in his cinema, but in his personality, is someone who I find just really inspiring. And just, I think his interest in damaged souls, something that I found pretty inspiring, and this is a beautiful artwork for this. Thank you so much for having me here. It's really exciting. I wish I could live here forever.